Hello Oracles! Oracle Tim here from Oracle Investments. You guys have done it again. Another 100 subscribers. Man, we actually hit 100 in one day. That is the most we have ever gotten in one day. You guys are amazing. I have a feeling we're going to be at 900 tomorrow. Again, you guys, it's all because of you. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting this channel, and all of the feedback you have given me is fantastic. I love the conversations we've been having in the comments. This is just truly awesome, so thank you guys so much. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Hit the like button, and we're gonna get right into this. So to start off, I mean, Tesla took us on a wild ride today. We saw it was coming down pre-market. We knew it was gonna be a rough day. We still have yet to find out how much more Elon's going to be selling. We're kind of in the guesstimate of, another 2 weeks of this. So we figure by the end of next week, he'll be done. Still don't know for sure. I'm gonna check the Form 4 filings before I finish filming this to let you guys know if there's any updates. And the stock saw a hard pullback down to, I think it was about 978 was the low for the day. That's about almost 5% down. I ended up putting about $50 in today, following my plan. And then late afternoon, it shot back up strangely. I don't know why. It was kind of a sharp move. Part of me is wondering if maybe Elon saw the price and he sold his shares and then bought a whole bunch back in. I mean, he can totally do that. Maybe that's what he did. I don't know. But there was a strange spike late in the day that shot it back up, and we still ended up down about 2%. But that was a pretty nice ends to the day considering how far we had dropped. Today I want to discuss a little bit about technical analysis and why the psychology of technical analysis is what creates technical analysis. First I'm going to go into a few stock picks of the day, and then we'll kind of dive into that so this way we can relate it all together. The first stock of the day is BODY, that is Beachbody. I'd mentioned this on Friday. I'm a Beachbody coach. And for me, the workouts have always helped me. I've lost 45 pounds, ran 24-hour obstacle course races because of the workouts. And so for me, I definitely believe in the company. It had bad earnings. It missed earnings. It is not doing well, dropped even more. I'm not invested heavily into it, but I know that they have, the New Year's resolution time coming up for January. Most gyms, workouts always do well. So I'm probably going to actually double my position in it. And I'm down significantly, so doubling it will really bring my dollar cost average down. I'll see how they do in January. If January and their earnings don't do well then, I may, take a step back and reassess the situation. But for right now, I believe in it. I know they work. So regardless of kind of how the stock performs, because it's such a small position for me, I'm going to keep on investing into it, and I'm going to hold it long term and see how it goes. The next one I want to talk about is SUNL, Sunlight Financial. This is a SPAC I had bought back in the spring, had a lot of potential behind it, and then the SPAC bubble popped, and all the SPACs, most of the SPACs that were around back then are kind of floundering right now. So I'm definitely in the deep red for these guys. Their earnings came out, they met expectations for guidance, they missed for sales revenue. They had a deal going through right now, but it's kind of sitting down a little bit, like 3%. So I'm not so sure about it. I think I'm going to let the 3-day rule, which is, if a stock doesn't do well after earnings, give it 3 days to settle before you make a move on it. I did not do that with PaySafe last week. Stock rebounded a little bit. Didn't make much of a difference though for me. So what I'm going to do with Sunlight Financial is I'll take a look at it. I'm going to see how it performs tomorrow, see if it rebounds a little bit. I might actually sell that off for a loss just to offset my gains for the year. And I might use that money to put into the Beachbody, because it's still in that same category for me of speculative stocks that are just kind of gamble plays and more of like momentum type movements that I'm trying to look for a quick profit on. Sometimes you don't win them all. So I may take the loss on it and move that money into Beachbody and see where it goes from there. The last one I'm going to discuss today is AQSTs, Aquestive Therapeutics. Someone in the comments had requested that I give an analysis of this one. I don't know a lot about the company. I dug into it a little bit today. Looks like it's been trending up nicely since mid-October. And their earnings were good. They're not profitable yet, but they're kind of trending towards that direction. So they do seem like they have a positive future ahead of them. Struggle I have is pharmaceuticals are so finicky because pharmaceuticals rely so heavily on approvals for different things. And when I'm looking at AQST, their total addressable market, TAMS, was, it doesn't seem like it's a very large market to be in. I don't know what other competition they have out there in this market. I'm sure there's somebody. I may dig into it a little bit further because they do have some tremendous growth over the last month and a half, just to take a look at it and see what they have in the pipeline for the future, because that's a lot of times playing pharmaceutical companies is what you want to look at. What do they have in the pipeline? Because if they have something rolling in the pipeline, playing it as a momentum play, if nothing else, could work. Because if you're like, hey, you know what, they've got this thing coming out, and as soon as they get approval for it, it's going to pop. Or at least the news. A lot of times with the pharmaceuticals, the news leading up to it is where you get the real momentum swing, and the news is where everybody sells. So if you know that there's news coming out on something like this, and I'll take a look at to see if there is any, if they've got something in the pipeline, when you start that rumor mill going, buy in as soon as you start hearing that rumor mill. When it starts to go up there, make sure to protect yourself, because as soon as that news comes out, there's a strong chance it's going to drop. Regardless of what the news is the end of the line and it's going to sell off. That is just a lot of the times how these momentum plays work with pharmaceuticals. So now to quickly go over technical analysis. The way it works is the more people who use technical analysis, the more technical analysis is going to work. Because the more people who think that Tesla's going to drop to, say, $900, they're now following a chart. And they're all starting to chart out the same things, and they're thinking, oh, I think it's going to come down to 900 based off of the chart. And if everybody else learns that chart and they're reading it, they're all going to be putting their buys or sells in around that same price. That there in itself self-manifests, and it's going to create that chart as it's given. So this is why, while technical analysis is followed as a technical tool, a lot of times it's based on rumor mill and news and all these people who are just talking in the chatter of, oh, I think it's going to go to 900 or I think it's going to go to 1,000. Now people start setting their buys and sells at the same time, and it really just kind of forms that pattern of whatever it's going to do based upon the news that people are talking about. And so what ends up happening is the more people chart and plot on those lines, when a catalyst comes along, it's going to send it in whatever direction the people who have charted and plotted on a technical analysis are going to send it. So in Tesla's case, it had two great momentum moves that came in October. Great catalysts between their amazing earnings, which followed their sales from September, and then the Hertz news. So all of these things everybody's plotting, now that's why it skyrocketed all the way up. Cool, it broke everybody's trends, everybody's thoughts for this thing, and now it was in kind of no man's land of what's going to happen to it now. So everybody's thinking it's just going to go up because there's nothing stopping it, which is why it kept on flying high. Then bam, Elon with his catalyst of, hey, by the way, I'm going to sell 10% of my stock. Okay, comes crashing back down. Now we're all in a position where we're chattering. What's going to happen with it next? Some people think it's going to go down to 900. Some people thought 1,000. That's why you saw that battle today around $1,000, started to battle around 985, and it's going to, settle. So now if we're all thinking that Elon's going to sell for the next 2 weeks, we're all thinking it may go more red. And the more people are thinking that it's going to go red longer, the more chance it has of going red for longer, because people are thinking, oh, maybe it's actually going to come down to 900, maybe 850. So they're going to pull out their buy orders for 950 and move them down to 900. That in turn is going to drop the price even more, because as people sell, there's less buyers to come in and take it. That's going to create that technical analysis chart of going lower because of the people and how they're talking. And this is why, for me, I like to follow both technical analysis and the rumor mill and kind of piece them both together to see what trends are following. So if they're both on the same trend, I'm going to follow that. Especially, as I said before, when bears and bulls are on the same path and they have the same mentality, regardless of what their price targets are, if they both raise their price targets, there's a chance that the price is going up long term. So that's kind of what I listen to. and I will follow the technical analysis and to see, hey, are we still in this channel that we're discussing? And if we are, I'll flow with it. And because people are constantly thinking and changing their minds, and it's a very fluid chart and momentum and how it moves, that's why dollar cost averaging is the best way to go. That's why I am dollar cost averaging with Tesla. And I came up with my own personal formula of adding $10 every time it comes down every percent, and then $10 every day. So regardless of how the price is moving, I'm playing it long term, and I'm going to keep on adding as it dips. And I don't ever have to worry about what is the bottom, because I know I will be investing at the bottom because I'm always investing. I hope that helped out a little bit and maybe explain technical analysis and how it works and why the more people who use it, the more it works. And so I will begin soon. I'm going to start sharing some technical analysis charts and everything with you guys so you can kind of follow along on there. Let me know if you have any other questions about that. I will do my best to explain, and maybe if this was confusing to you, I can kind of clarify it in the comments. Thank you all again so much. I truly appreciate you. I have a feeling because of you guys, I'm going to be wearing this shirt again tomorrow, and that is an amazing feeling. You guys are the best. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the morning for some more Tesla news updates. Thank you so much.